Today, I wanted to talk about alignment to your most authentic self. So, I'm pretty sure I'm not alone in this, but there is a distinction between being private and being authentic. you know, um, since I started in the workforce, I've always had people tell me, "Oh, Kiana, you're quite mysterious." And I'm not mysterious. I just did not feel comfortable sharing the things that I knew. And so I would just keep it to myself because I didn't know how people would receive me being my most authentic self. I was really concerned about that coming up through the workforce and as a consultant because, the things that I knew or understood, things that I saw and experienced, everybody wasn't seeing the same things. And I knew that. And I also knew that there wasn't a lot of acceptance for being that different. I mean, I was always different, but being that different, is a lot for a lot of people. And I'm very different than most people that I know. And even when I was younger, I was different. So being different does not mean you're in alignment to your authentic self. But what keeps people from being in alignment to their authentic self, at least what kept me in out of being in alignment, was that I was putting more emphasis on other people being more comfortable around me than me. I was comfortable around me, but I knew if people knew what I knew, then they wouldn't be comfortable knowing that I knew. Um, so I just chose not to share what I knew. Um, but in doing and behaving that way, what I was keeping was I was holding myself back. Because when you feed what you want to grow, like if you want to expand, you can't hold back. So, what I would say, I'm going to give you 3 tips to align to your most authentic self. These are like requirements from my perspective. If you want to be aligned, number one, you cannot have any secrets, like no secrets. Certainly, you could keep things private. Your personal business is your personal business. You don't need to talk about your money. You don't need to talk about, what how you're bringing income in. That's nobody's business. You don't need to talk about how much or how little. You don't need to talk about the intimate details of your personal life. That means pretty much anything that has to do with your physical body. You don't have to talk about those things. Some of those things are private. However, it is important that if you're not sharing, that it's also not a secret. Keeping things secret keeps you from expanding because the secrets actually constrict you energetically. So even keeping somebody else's secrets for me, it's a no-go. Don't even tell me a secret. If you're a client and you're confiding in me, fine. If you're telling me your secrets, fine. Because that's my job as a confidant, and I don't talk about that stuff anyways. So secrets are not meant to be held in. We're not supposed to keep them at all because they actually constrict us. So a good rule of thumb is no secrets. If you have somebody wants to tell you a secret, I don't hear secrets. No, nothing's off limits. If you tell me in my personal life that that's all fair game. Now I'm not going to go say this person said this or whatever, but I'm not going to hold your secret. No. So don't tell me secrets. Secrets, no way. Those are a deal breaker. You want to share something personal? Fine. But don't ask me to be the keeper of your secrets. I'm not going to do it. The other thing, number 2, to align with your most authentic self, is that you want to get proficient at being out of your comfort zone, doing things that you don't want to do, doing things you don't like, trying new things, whether it's a new flavor of ice cream, whether it's a new going someplace different, whether it's talking to people you wouldn't normally talk to. Like you want to get in the habit of doing things that are uncomfortable. That doesn't mean you have to like everything, right? You don't have to like everything, but you don't want your mind making up decisions for you that keep you out of alignment within yourself, that keep you small. So many people just do their routines and they stick to their small little world, and they're missing so much on how their inner world can expand by just, you know, changing up their routine and getting out of those mental limiting rigid ways. So small things usually mean big things. So what's small is big and what's big is small. So get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and that will help you align to your most authentic self. Your most authentic self has nothing to do with being mentally rigid, has nothing to do with liking something, and it has absolutely nothing to do with judgment. So don't get stuck in those mind frames and mindsets, those mindsets. Ugh, I hate the word mindset because when people say, oh, you got to have this kind of mindset, what they're really talking about is being mentally rigid, which is really dangerous to your conscious expansion. And then the other thing is that, alignment to your authentic self, this is the third one, is an active process. It doesn't happen without you actively participating and moving in the direction of wanting to be your most authentic self. Now, most people don't give it a lot of time, don't give it a lot of energy, they don't give it a lot of reflection. And those are people that tend to think that their name is their identity, that their diseases or their diagnosis is who they are. And those are not who you are. So you got to know who you are through an active process of discovery. That is where self awareness comes in, self discovery, insights, challenging of beliefs. That all comes from an active process. So don't think that this is just going to happen. You're just going to automatically be your authentic self. No, your authentic self will entail having emotions, knowing your emotions, having a high sense of your emotional intelligence. Not that you can name other people's emotions, but you can fully identify and understand emotionally where you're stuck, where you're challenged, where you want to grow, where you're going. Like those things would be aligned to being in alignment with your most authentic self. So I just thought I'd give you 3 simple tips that would help you. I hope you found this helpful and insightful and in your process to becoming aligned. I am Kiana Sage and I guide people to peace. Have a great day. Bye.